tell y'all something. See, when a man disappears, when he goes quiet, when he stops showing up, most women panic. They think it's over. But truth be told, half the time he ain't gone forever. He's just sitting back, watching you, testing you. Yeah, I said it, testing you. He wants to see how you move without him. Now, here's the trick. If you go chasing, blowing up his phone, begging for answers, crying about why he left, you just failed the test. And when you fail that test, guess what? He ain't coming back. But if you stay strong, if you keep shining, if you show that your life don't stop just because he took a break, that man gonna be like, dang, she different, she's strong, she's the one I can't play with. See, a man is drawn to value. He respects a woman who respects herself. He's planning to come back, but only if you prove you ain't weak without him. Only if you pass the test of patience, of self-respect, of independence. Because listen, love without respect is nothing. If you can't respect yourself when he's gone, he won't respect you when he's back. So stop worrying about him coming back. Start worrying about whether you are the kind of woman he deserves to come back to. That's the real test. Pass that and trust me, he'll return knocking on your door, realizing he just walked away from the prize. There comes a moment in almost every relationship when a man seems to vanish into silence. He stops calling as much, he takes longer to reply, maybe he even disappears for a few days or weeks. To many women, this feels like rejection, abandonment, or even the end of the relationship. But here's the truth. Silence is rarely just silence. More often than not, it's a test. He's not always gone. Sometimes he's pulling back deliberately, trying to see how you'll respond when he steps out of the picture. This is what I call the silent test. And it's one of the most powerful moments in a relationship because how you respond can either increase his respect for you or destroy it. See, men think differently than women when it comes to relationships. Where women often seek reassurance through closeness, men test reassurance through distance. By stepping back, he wants to know if you're going to crumble without him or if you're going to stand tall in your own strength. He's watching whether you'll chase him down, beg for attention and lose yourself, or whether you'll remain grounded, focused on your own life and unshaken by his absence. This test isn't about cruelty, it's about clarity. He wants to know what type of woman he's dealing with. The mistake most women make during the silent test is immediately assuming the worst. They panic, they overthink, they start writing long emotional messages, they call repeatedly, they stalk his social media, all in an effort to fix the silence. But in reality, this behavior only fails the test. Why? Because it shows that your emotional balance depends on him. It reveals that your confidence collapses without his presence. And men, deep down, don't respect a woman who loses herself just because he took a step back. He respects the woman who knows her worth, even when he goes silent. Passing the silent test requires strength, patience, and self-control. It means resisting the urge to chase, resisting the urge to demand answers, resisting the urge to break down emotionally just because he pulled away. Instead, you stay calm. You let him have his space without letting it shake your sense of identity. You continue living your life, focusing on your growth, your goals, your happiness. You show him without saying a word that you are not dependent on him for your peace of mind. And trust me, nothing speaks louder to a man than that. Because here's the thing, when a man goes silent and you don't chase, he starts to notice. He expects you to panic. He expects you to beg. He expects you to fight for his attention. But when you don't, when you stay unbothered and focused, it flips the script. Suddenly, he's the one questioning himself. He starts thinking, hold up, why isn't she chasing me? Why isn't she desperate to hear from me? What's she doing without me? And that shift in perspective is what makes him come back stronger than before. You've passed the test, and now he sees you as a woman of value, a woman who can't be easily shaken. The silent test is really about one thing, self-respect. When you respect yourself enough not to beg for attention, you automatically demand his respect in return. A woman who can stay calm in silence shows she has emotional maturity, independence, and inner strength. And these are the exact qualities that separate a temporary fling from a long-term partner. Men may chase beauty, but they commit to respect. They stay with the woman who proves she can stand strong, not the one who collapses at the first sign of distance. So the next time a man pulls away, don't let your mind spin into panic. Recognize the game that's being played. See the silence for what it is, a test of your strength. Don't chase, don't beg, don't lose yourself. Keep shining, keep moving, keep living. Because when you pass the silent test, you don't just win him back, you win his respect, his admiration, and his realization that you are not just another woman in his life, you are the prize. When a man pulls back, it's not always about distance, it's about discovery. He's trying to figure out who you really are when he's not around. This is what I call the respect test. Every man, whether he admits it or not, wants to know if the woman he's dealing with can hold her ground when things aren't easy. Can you keep your standards? Can you maintain your boundaries? Can you stand firm in your self-respect when he's not there to validate you? That's the real test. See, men are natural testers. They may not plan it out consciously, but deep down, they're always checking whether the woman beside them truly values herself. When he steps back, when he goes silent, when he creates space, it's not just about him. It's about seeing what you do in his absence. Do you stay true to your worth, or do you throw it out the window because you're afraid of losing him? That answer tells him everything he needs to know. Here's the mistake many women make. They lower their standards the moment he's not present. They allow behavior they would never accept otherwise. They start tolerating excuses, ignoring red flags, or chasing him when he's given them no effort. They bend their boundaries because they think doing so will keep him close. But let me tell you, nothing pushes a man further away than a woman who abandons her self-respect for his attention. If he sees that you don't respect yourself, why would he respect you? The respect test is about consistency. It's about showing him that your standards don't shift based on his presence. If you expect respect when he's right there in front of you, you better expect it when he's not. If you require effort, honesty, and consistency when he's calling every night, you should still require it when he disappears for a week. When you hold steady, when you don't lower the bar just because you're afraid of losing him, that's when he realizes he can't play with you. You've shown him you're a woman of principle, not desperation. And here's the truth. Men may not always say it, but they admire women with unshakable standards. A woman who won't tolerate half effort, who won't sacrifice her boundaries, who won't accept being treated like an option. That's the woman who commands respect. And respect is the foundation of real love. Without it, there is no trust, no commitment, no lasting relationship. He might have fun with someone who bends, but he builds with the woman who stands firm. When you pass the respect test, something shifts in him. He starts to realize that you're not waiting on him to define your worth. You've already defined it for yourself. He sees that you won't crumble just because he's absent. He sees that you won't change your values just to keep him around. And that realization forces him to step up. A man who knows you won't lower your standards will either rise to meet them or fall away because he can't. Either way, you win. But when you fail the respect test, the opposite happens. The moment you start compromising your values, letting things slide, or chasing his validation, you send him the message that you don't believe you're worth more. And once he sees that, the respect is gone. Even if he comes back, it won't be the same, because deep down he knows he can play with your emotions and you'll still be there. That's not love, that's control. So understand this. The respect test isn't just about him, it's about you. It's about proving to yourself that you can hold your standards regardless of what he does. It's about reminding yourself that your value isn't tied to whether he's calling, texting, or showing up. Your value is permanent. It doesn't disappear because he's absent. When you live that truth, when you breathe that confidence, men can feel it. And the right man, the man who's serious about you, will never want to lose it. At the end of the day, love without respect is empty. And respect starts with you respecting yourself first. So when he pulls away, when he goes quiet, when he's not around to watch, don't lower your standards to keep him. Hold them even higher. Because the respect test is where a man learns whether you're just another option or the woman he can't afford to lose. One of the most powerful truths in relationships is this: people value what doesn't beg to be valued. They treasure what holds its own weight, what stands tall, what doesn't collapse the moment attention disappears. This is exactly what I call the value test. When a man pulls back or creates distance, he's not just stepping away to breathe, he's watching to see if your entire identity crumbles without him. He wants to know if you lose yourself or if you continue to carry yourself like the prize you are. And trust me, how you handle that moment tells him everything about your worth in his eyes. The value test is really about independence. A man wants to see if your happiness is built on your own foundation or if it's leaning entirely on him. Because if your joy, your peace, your confidence all vanish the second he goes missing, it tells him you're not standing on solid ground. You're standing on him. And no man deep down wants that. What men truly admire is a woman who remains whole, complete, and unshaken, even when he's not present. That's the kind of woman who radiates value. See, many women unknowingly fail this test by centering their entire life around the man. The moment he pulls away, they stop living. They stop focusing on their work, their dreams, their friendships, their growth. They sit by the phone waiting for a call, worrying about what he's doing, and spiraling into insecurity. And while that might feel like love, it actually communicates the opposite. It tells him you're dependent, not valuable. It shows him that your sense of self is tied to his presence, and that makes you easy to take for granted. But passing the value test looks completely different. It means that when he steps back, you keep moving forward. You still glow, you still grow, you still invest in yourself. You don't stop chasing your goals just because he's gone quiet. You don't abandon your peace waiting on his message. You continue to live a life so full, so purposeful, that his absence doesn't rob you of your shine. That's when a man starts to look at you differently, because suddenly he realizes you're not just in his world. He's lucky to even be part of yours. And here's the twist. The less you lose yourself without him, the more he feels he could lose without you. When he sees that you are valuable with or without his presence, it makes him respect you, chase you, and fight to keep you. Because now he knows you're not just another option. You are the prize. You are the woman he risks losing if he doesn't step up. That's the mindset shift that makes him return. Not just out of habit, but out of recognition of your worth. The value test isn't about pretending not to care. It's not about playing cold games or acting like you don't want him. It's about balance. It's about showing him that while you may love him, you don't need him to function. While you may care for him deeply, you won't abandon yourself for him. That balance is what makes a man look at you with new eyes, because he knows you have what so many don't, self-worth that doesn't break under pressure. Think of it this way. The prize never chases the player. The prize sits in its value, waiting for someone worthy to claim it. You don't see gold begging someone to pick it up. You don't see diamonds lowering their shine just to be noticed. Value speaks for itself. And when you operate like the prize, you don't have to convince a man of your worth. He sees it, he feels it, and if he has any sense at all, he won't risk losing it. Failing the value test, on the other hand, can cost you everything, because once he realizes you'll abandon yourself for him, he knows he doesn't have to try anymore. He knows you'll always be there, no matter how little he gives. And the more you devalue yourself, the less he invests in you. That's why holding your value is non-negotiable. It's the difference between being an option he toys with and being the woman he commits to. At the end of the day, the value test is about teaching him a simple truth. You don't disappear just because he does. You're still you, beautiful, powerful, growing, thriving. And when you can show that, when you can prove that your life continues to shine with or without him, he'll come back knowing you're not just someone he can have, you're someone he has to earn. That's what makes you the prize. So here's what I want you to take with you. When a man pulls away, it ain't always the end. It's the beginning of a test. He's watching your silence, he's watching your respect, and he's watching your value. The silent test shows if you'll chase him or stand strong. The respect test shows if you'll keep your standards even when he ain't looking. And the value test proves whether you can shine without losing yourself. If you fail these tests, you teach him that he can treat you any kind of way and you'll still be there. But if you pass them, oh, that man will realize he's not just dealing with anybody. He's dealing with a woman who knows her worth, a woman who cannot be shaken, a woman who is the prize. So don't waste your energy chasing, begging, or lowering your standards. Hold your ground. Keep your respect. Protect your value. Because the man who's truly for you, he'll come back not just out of convenience, but out of conviction. And when he does, he'll know he's not just coming back to a woman. He's coming back to the prize.